It's Saturday the 12th of December. Half past 3 in the afternoon, and we're just approaching the peak of this hill on the bike. For an overnighter in the woods at the bug out location, and I've not had this much gear on my trailer since the bug out weekend. The shit is the fan weekend event in June, when I took everything, including the Go box, a radio Go box. So I would say I haven't got radios tonight, but I've got the little dual band handset, because I never leave home without it. It's just tonight is testing out the new gear. I've been ill the past probably 2 months. Had a cold which turned into like sort of like the flu. It wasn't the flu. Then it got into my chest, and I've had severe chest problems in the past, so I had to be careful, and I just couldn't shift it. I've still got it now. Banging head, dizzy spells, coughing up all that phlegm there. But I haven't been out for so long. They stopped now, but they were following me. If I can push one end of the bike. Here they come. Start to follow me. If I stop, they stop. They can see the trailer, and they must think it's food. Be gone. That'll be my food. That's for me tonight. Right, it's getting a bit darker now. It's 10 past 4. The tarp is up on carabiners, but like a curtain. I've just opened it up, and it should come down the back of the teepee. I haven't done it yet because I think it's just going to be too windy, although the wind seems to have died down now. But yeah, remembering that when you set up any tent, mainly a teepee like this, set it all up, and then I went around again, pulling it all slightly tauter because it was a bit saggy. But we're all up and running. Just got to get the ground sheet down and get some stuff in it. I was going to have this up just so I've got a bit of space to work on if it does rain. So I best get this up now. And it should go down the back of here. It starts just before the top of the top of the teepee. I'll cover the back of the teepee and this area here, so I've got a bit of working space if I need it for obviously procuring wood and so on. I don't want it over the front of the tarp because the fire's going to be there. You know, I don't want to get stinking of smoke or set fire to. Never have a big fire. I don't need cover from the rain for the fire. I've got a baking tray. The fire is going to go just here in front of the entrance to the teepee. Right, I'm going to get on with the big tarp now, then it'll get dark. Right, it's getting dark now. So I've just dug a fire pit. Usual foot wide, deep, about 1.5 foot. So basically 2 shovels by 4 shovels. So I've measured out, and about 6 to 8 inches deep. And I'm just laying the bottom of it now full of sticks, so I can build the fire on top of that. So I've got some good airflow, and then a nice, good solid bed to burn into for coals and so on. So I want to get on with this and get a load of wood stacked up now to save me wandering around in the dark doing it. When it's dark, I don't want to wander around too far from camp, because obviously you've got the risk of tripping over or putting your eye out on something. You don't want a twig or a branch sticking in any part of your body. So I'm going to quickly gather up some more sticks and then get a big pile of logs. As you can see, it's not completely dark yet, I've probably got about half hour before complete darkness. And it's getting very windy. So looking forward to getting into that teepee tonight, because I hear they're quite quiet. Right, put the tampon on the basewood, lit it, and then done like a teepee effect. See, there you go, piled some wood on top. Done about 3 layers. I think I should have just done 1 or 2 to start with. But I think it'll work. Right, we'll leave that going. Just presume it's going to take. So LED light in here is absolutely sufficient light. Although it's not showing up that well on camera. But it's fine. I think I might get the bed made up, but we'll get in the teepee. There we go, we're in the teepee now. First night out. I need to get it a bit more taut, I think. I mean, I haven't tried it out yet. I mean, I got in it in the front garden when I first got it. The true test is out here tonight. Oh, look, a caterpillar of some sort. He's not staying in here tonight. That's why I got my bed to get me off the floor, away from these damn bugs. He's going out. I'm not having him in here. Right, the bed. You can see this. The bed is in. It's about 1 inch too long. Obviously, on one side, if I could get the bed in the middle, it'd fit because of the pole. The plan was actually to put a stone in here, tie it up and sling it up to a tree to support it instead of a pole, but time got on and I thought I'll just have the corners touching. I've got to remember that the zip of my bedroll is on this side. If my head's up there, if my head's on the other side, the zip's on the other side, then I can't get out, because the bedroll, the zip doesn't go all the way around, so you can only sleep one way in it. So there's the bed for tonight. Off the ground, not much you can see really. Better start feeding this, or I'm not going to get a coffee or food. The rain's held off, the wind's still very strong, but it shouldn't really be too much of a problem. I'm going to get my hat on in a minute. As I said, I haven't got over this bug thing virus yet, and I don't want to get any worse than I already am. The wind is really picking up, but it's also feeding the fire quite well. I'm a bit of a tidy up before I have a coffee. I should rehydrate myself, but I always like to get stuff done before I sit down and take a break. So I'm just tidying up the last of my things, and I'm going to get the bedroll on the bed. That fire, man, it looks like it's running on gas. I'm just waiting for those sticks to die down, and then they'll ignite the bed. Obviously the wind's blowing the sparks quite a way, so I have to watch that if there's any dry stuff sort of behind the fire. It's all pretty much wet. God, them flames. God, that wind. Look at that. Whew. Might have to get some sort of wind reflector put up. But it'll be alright once it goes down the coals. I'll give it a bit of a poke now. Try and get it to die down a little bit. Don't want a massive fire. That's probably the biggest fire I've had, like for the smallest diameter. A lot of sparks. A lot of smoke. Right, that'll do. Right, gotta get the bed rolling. Right, there's the bed rolling. I think my head might be touching the side of the teepee tonight, not sure. And then I've got my sleeping bag there, which I'm going to try not to use. I think I'll just have it as a backup. But I might put a full blanket on under the bivvy bag, the bivvy outer bivvy casing. All that is the bivvy bag, the cotton sheet, and the wool blanket. think that'll be enough for tonight. And if it's not, then I'll get my sleeping bag later on. There we go, the secret ingredient to a good fire. Plenty of air. That's all burnt down now. God, that wind is literally... 1 minute it's blowing that way, and then it's spiralling around. But yeah, it's all burnt down to the bed I had. So now I've got a nice bed of coals. So I can just cook on that. But I'm going to probably kill it. Put a few sticks in it now, just so I can get my cup of water on there. Yeah, that'll do, a bit of a platform. It looks like it's gone out, but don't worry, it hasn't gone out. Just a nice platform there for my cup, and then by the time the flames come up, that should be hot enough. Yeah, my favourite little S-hooks. Got one on each side now. So instead of opening up one part of the teepee, I've opened up both parts, and yeah, just peeled them back. Okay, that's just reignited again. So lights blaze up. But yeah, just peeled them back so I can actually sit in the bed now with the teepee actually open and watch a bit of telly. There you go, I'm in the bed, there's my jacket, there's my bedroll, there's the walking stick supporting it all, and there's my telly. And that wind is howling. That is really, really, really windy out here tonight. Right, it's bloody evil out here. Outside of the tent is absolutely soaked. As you can see there, it's getting a bit of a crease in it, which I don't want. That's only because the wind's blowing into it quite strongly, if you can hear the wind. So flames are going sideways on the fire, which is good. But yeah, so far the tent is holding up against the wind. I've got top 2 out of the 3 buttons done up. This isn't really going to flap open. The idea is to lift them open so I can have a little peek out in the morning. Otherwise I won't know when the sun's come up. But I'm thinking about running a line from the buttons or something just to hold it out a little bit. Not sure it'll work. But it is kind of getting squashed on one side from the wind. But you can see the lines where the water's just been beading up and running down. All these little bits stay here. See, just flick it, it all just beads off. So we might get a few drips at the top where it's stitched, where the water will sit. There's not many places for it to get through. So at the moment it's been up about half hour to an hour in the... Look at that. Half hour to an hour in the rain. Just chucking it down at the moment. I'm getting wet for some reason. I should be in there talking. Oh, my hand is freezing. I've only been out here 5 minutes. Whoa, big difference to in here. In here is nice and quiet. This bed's comfy to lay on. I did actually sleep on this bed the other day. People on my Facebook would have seen that we had a busy weekend. The kids got really tired. My partner's little girl was that tired she had to sleep in the bed with her, which meant I lost my space in the bed. Thought, oh well, I'll just keep on the sofa. You know, she's a bit upset. She was tired and that from a busy weekend away. So I actually kept at home in the living room floor on the British Army folding bed and the Czech Army bedroll. I actually slept quite well on that. And even sitting down, as long as I sit down where there's a leg, it's really quite comfy. It's a bit low to sit on, but it's doing the job. But no sign of any water in here. No drips at all coming through. It just feels cold. It seems like it might be alright. Just need to pull that out, I think, a bit more, get it a bit more taut over that way. Keeping an eye on this to make sure it's not shrinking under the strain, the weight. I've never put that much weight on this pole before. I haven't got a backup. I didn't bring the original poles So if this does collapse or squash under the weight, I'll have to find a bit of wood, 145 centimetres tall. But so far that seems fine, no air getting through the flaps, no water getting through. Yeah, I might have to do something about this because the wind's blowing on it and it's not that taut. So I'm going to try and pull the pegs out a bit more, get it as much taut as possible, because at the end of the day it's my space. I've lost about 6 inches there. This side doesn't seem too bad. Right, we'll have a quick run around and try and get it a bit tighter. The fire's going lovely. Hello, fire. And that's all there is to update, really. But yeah, I wanted some bad weather to test out the kit, and it looks like I've got it. This wind is not going to die down tonight. It's only 20 to 6. I'm actually ready for bed now. But I haven't even eaten yet. And I don't want to eat too early because obviously I'll burn off the calories and I'll be cold tonight. I want to try and eat as late as possible. But yeah, I'm impressed so far. I've only had it up in the garden and been here a couple of hours, but the tent seems fine. Oh yeah, and the other kit I've got to trying out tonight, the bedroll, the bed, the tent, and I've got in my EDC my new solar charger. As I said in my last video, I bought it. It was like £3.50 on eBay, brand new. Came in a nice box. Oh, I'm not digging it out. I'll dig it out. I've just put all the leads for my phone and stuff in there. Ready? It's my EDC, my little light, first aid kit. Yeah, there it is. It's the size of an old flip phone. It flips open. Oh, I've still got the plastic covering it. Yeah, the 2 screws were missing. So I emailed the guy and said like 2 screws are missing. It's a bit, this was flapping like mad. And I just thought I'd put some tape on it. It wasn't really fussed. I just let him know the 2 screws are missing so we could check the batch that he had. He said he checked the batch, they're all fine, it's just this one. So he sent me a new one. So the new one hasn't been charged by the sun yet. I've charged it by the wall, because you can charge it by your wall at home, your car, or by sun. So it's still got the actual cover on here. I haven't peeled that off yet. But it's fully charged. It's also got a little torch, which isn't that great, but it's better than nothing at all. It'll help you, you sit under the cupboard under the stairs, or if I fall asleep and these batteries die up there, at least I have got some sort of light. But yeah, it seems alright. Check it out on eBay. There's millions out there. It's like £3.50. I nearly bought one for about 20 quid. I wanted like a decent one, and I was looking at it for 20 quid thinking, if I break that, I've lost 20 quid. And then I saw this one and thought, if I break this, I've lost 3 quid, or £3.50. £1.50 P&P. So overall it was like about a fiver. Now I've got to just take all this out to get it back in, because I won't be trying it out yet. I'm going to wait till my phone goes flat. To be honest, I'm actually unaware of the weather. I'm sitting there chatting away in that. Well, on the last clip I was talking. And yeah, I was not oblivious, but totally unaffected mentally of the weather. I've just come to go outside and then been reminded how windy it is out here. Got a nice fair bit of heat coming off that fire. Woo! But yeah, I'm totally unaware of actually how bad it is out here. It's blowing a gale. It's rainy, and if I was in my normal tarp, under a normal tarp, I'd hear it, it'd be rattling, it'd be noisy. And even with these little dome tents I've got, I think I used once, bugged out to my tent. I was infested by slugs at midnight. And yeah, that would be rattling around and possibly blowing through the trees right now. But this is such thick, heavy material, it does keep the sound out, the wind and obviously the water. Well, all going good so far. Just trying to get it a bit taut now and get back in, because it's freezing out here. That's the other thing. I've only got my t-shirt and fleece on. I'm not even laid up. Just breathable army issue t-shirt and a cheap fleece. I mean, this was like £8 from Asda. This is cheap, and I was nice in there. It was right. And out here, it's fucking horrible. Right, I'm about to eat. but I got layered up to cook it. I put my jumper on and my jacket because it was freezing out there. I came in here, took my jacket off, and I'm in here absolutely roasting. The steam from the food, if you can see, it's going straight out the door. I think it's getting sucked out by the heat, unless the wind's coming in, curling around, and then pushing it back out the door. I don't know. But either way, these things are fantastic. I'm in here now, roasting, and there's well, not a full-blown storm out there, but it's blowing a gale. Not just windy, but blowing a gale. It's raining, if you can hear it. And yeah, I'm toasty in here. I mean, the fire's not that close. It's about 3 or 4 foot away. It's got a single LED, well, the LED light shining down. I think those 4 LEDs will use a lot less power than the 25 LEDs that it's got for like a lantern function. Just waiting for that to cool down to eat, because I am burning up in here. It's hot. Still early, 20 to 7. This thing is still saying like 8-9 degrees. I don't think it's that accurate. I might actually check the weather on my phone in a minute, see what it says. Right, tonight's cleaning tip is a bit different to my normal tip. Normally I use a bit of split wood that's flat to scrape up all the stuff. Tonight I've got a stick and some leaves, just because I can't be bothered to sort of batten any sticks down. I haven't needed them tonight. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Just got a few leaves and a stick. Get right in the corner. Quite a bit of bean juice stuck to the side. My phone's flashing up, battery low. I think the last video was cut short too. So I'll just clean this up and get my phone on charge. So that's got everything up now. There's nothing stuck to the side at all. Just got to rinse it out. I've got wipes, I've got a green, I've got a sponge, I've got loads of water. But you know, why use stuff that has to be replaced when this stuff is everywhere? So there we go. Just a few leaves, not dead ones, as green as possible. Otherwise they'll just disintegrate and make a mess. Get a stick, get it right in the corners, and give it a good rinse out afterwards. And my usual trick, when I've rinsed it out, I'll give it a quick wipe with a baby wipe. I'll stick it on the fire and it'll dry it, and I can put it away. Just to save anything, you know, if a leaf blows on it, it's going to stick to it when it's wet. So yeah, well, after you've cleaned up, dry up, and then put away. There you go, all clean. Give it a quick wipe around. Now I'm just going to sit it on there, and that'll dry it out in about a minute. I can put it back in the bag. Obviously it's still wet from where I wiped it with the wipes. Coffee's not quite boiled yet. The wind doesn't help. It still is very, very, very windy tonight. I don't know what to do. It's so hot. There's about 2 or 3 inches of coals already. You can hear the wind. I'll stand up. Absolutely howling out here. But in the tent it's doing alright. Kind of thinking it was a good buy there. It's a bit funny shaped on the back end where the wind's hitting it, but I can see the water running off it. You can see the lines where the water runs down. It's doing its job. People say when they're new they don't need waterproofed, because obviously they're new, they've never been issued. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to give it a good coating of waterproofing. But me, I'm happy with it. No water's getting through yet. Right, all very good stuff. M3HNL. Just been talking to a guy over at Warminster, I think, and I'm just on the between around Staverton in Wiltshire. Cracking signal across there. He's 500 feet and I'm 400 feet ASL, so we're not extremely high up, but yeah, with the woods being bare, the handset's working quite well on 2 meters. I've just been out there saying to him I've got to go because the side of my face was getting wet and it was freezing. This still says 9 degrees. I think it's stuck, although the weather on my phone earlier said 9 degrees. But the wind factor is a lot colder. It's freezing out there in that wind and rain. and then I came back in here, and it feels about 30 degrees. I have to get my coat off. I literally just sat down, so I need to get my coat off. I just can't layer up in here. Again, still the inside of the tent's bone dry. That's not really got much worse, but again, that's where the wind is hitting, so it is soaking through there a little bit. I don't think it's going to drip onto my head. My head's going to be here. I think it's just going to run down the tent. But tonight I plan to have a candle. People have said you only need, with the door shut on here, you only need a candle for heat and light. I'm not trying a candle when the door's open. It's too windy. Although there's no wind in here. But yeah, I think I'm just going to leave a candle on tonight in here. And we'll see how it goes. Failing that so far. Testing out the gear. This is lovely to sit on. This is actually really quite comfy. It's going to be a dream to sleep on tonight. I normally just sleep on that, a full blanket and a sleeping bag. I don't normally mind roughing it. Sometimes I put a load of dry grass and stuff underneath, just to give it a few inches of ground clearance. But I do really like sleeping on the ground in front of the fire. So it's going to be weird tonight sleeping in the tent with the fire outside. I'll probably let it burn out and then go to sleep. It's going to be sort of weird sleeping on this, because this is like a hammock, really. It sort of hugs you, and if you sort of like bang your head up and down, the rest of your body sort of goes like that. It's like a bit of a waterbed effect. They're only about, I can't remember what I paid for it now, 10-15 quid for this bed. And they're 7 foot long, I think it was, which is good, because the roll bed, the Czech Army one's pretty long as well, and I'm 6'6", so it's nice to have some length, because a lot of stuff is only for like 5'6" people, and I'm a bit taller than that. So courtesy of that, I've got my phone charged up. I've got my new one. I'm going to save that battery in the new one for tomorrow, and if we get any sunlight I can charge this one up from the other one while I charge the other one, which is quite handy really. That's it. The rain's starting again. I can still hear it tapping away on the side of the tent. I'm going to make a brew now and get some layers off, because I'm roasting sitting in here. Right, it's 8 o'clock, just gone, and I've got no TP. There's the bed, there's the ground, there's the TP. There's the top of it laying on the ground. I decided to change it all around. It's pitch black, stopped raining, it's just sort of barely spitting. But yeah, I decided to change it all around. So put all the gear on the bed, and the bed was slightly leaning, like the head was going slightly down by about 3 degrees. I know your feet should be elevated, but I didn't like the look of it. It was bugging me, sort of sitting there having a coffee, and I just suddenly thought, fuck it, let's move it. So we're going to move it. Well, we've moved it. We took the TP down. It's all good practice anyway, in case I have to put it down and up like through the night or something. And yeah, that's it really. Right, I'm going to get on and put the TP back up for the second time tonight, in case it starts really raining. Fire's still going nicely. Just trying to keep it low tonight, so I just got just a bed of coals. And I've got a leaf blowing to my coffee. I just made another one. Thought, right, swap everything around. Looks like I'm going to be eating nature tonight. So in the summer I just drink the bugs, and this time I'm eating leaves. Right, I'm going to get the TP back up. I still want the door facing the fire where it was, but I just want my bed that way. Don't know why, it was fine where it was. I just had a funny moment and thought, fuck it, got nothing else to do, why not? Right, it's dark, so you're probably not picking any of this up. TP's back up, exactly the same position it's in now. I think I might have rotated it by a couple of degrees unintentionally. So the door, standing in the door now, still faces the fire. And I've just got my bed, instead of my bed going across there, the bed now comes down on an angle. All the gear's over there. It's hard to video and shine the light. So I left my feet at the bed by the door, turn the radio off, save battery power. I'm roasted now from doing this. That still says 9 degrees. Right, so I'm on the bed now. Looking out to the right is there fire. In front of me, obviously now I can sit here under the shelter. So the only bit that's going to get wet is there until it gets closed off, if it does rain. And then I've got all my gear there and my head can go there. So if I lay down, I've got my knife there, my EDC, and then my pouches, and then extra water and stuff that I don't need over there, and my dirty gloves. So yeah, the shelter's pretty much the same position it was in, and I'm laying more flat now. I don't want to wake up at like silly o'clock in the morning and be like laid at a funny angle. I'll actually be keeping nice and warm, so I thought I'll move it around now. It's bad this time of year because it's dark. There's nothing to do because it's dark. So I was looking for something to do, and that was what I was looking to do. This is all burning quite nicely. Till the wind changes direction and I get a face full of ash. Trailer's right. It's got the 2 tarps in it. I didn't fold up the big tarp. I just shoved it in there. This is how much room the big tarp takes. This fits in one of the pockets of my bag, like the middle section of my bag. But if I don't fold it up, it takes up my entire trailer. That's my entire trailer full of just a screwed up tarp. So I could never put that tarp into a stuff sack. It's just huge. I'll have to literally fold it down. I'll fold it tomorrow in the daylight. It's just resting on the front wheel. So it's a bit of an angle so the water should run off. The trailer is waterproof, but water does gather on it when it's flat. The bike's then up against the trees, so it won't go anywhere. Torch. Should really use that. It's a good light, that. Don't think there's a make on it. It's like 20 quid, takes 2 AA's. It's got one of those super bright square LED things in it, which is the same as my my headlight. So they work well together when I'm on the bike in the dark. Right, well I'm going to chuck a couple of small bits on here, because I don't really want to build it up too much. And then I'm going to go take my coffee. Stop playing with it, Jesus. Take my coffee and sit in my new tent and pretend I'm bugging out. But I'm just testing some stuff. Make sure it all works if I do want to do any more wild camping. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much of this laying I get tomorrow, with these tents being as dark as they are. That should be extremely good fun in the morning in the pitch black. My God, I'm going to stink of smoke. And of course it's nice to be out, because I haven't been out in ages. Sick of being stuck indoors. Not really an indoorsy kind of person. I can hear the rain against the side of the tent. Oh, it is nice. The fire. In about 5 minutes, we'll have some nice flames on there. Still got quite a bit of wood left. Yeah, got a big pile there. That stuff's some of it still needs to be cut in half, and 3 big bits around there need to be cut in half. So I've got enough to last me till about 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, I should be asleep by then. It's not going to be a late one. It's weird, body clocks can be messed up, because normally I go to bed about midnight, 1 o'clock. Sometimes I watch till about 2 o'clock when I'm out and about, because I'm doing stuff till about 10 when it gets dark in the summer. But now it's winter, it's dark at 4, and then I'm bored for the rest of the few hours. I should have to invest in a PSP or a Nintendo DS or something like that. That's it. I'm going to sit back, lay back, pillow, have a little chill, and do some Facebooking for half hour or so. Right, catch you soon, people. I don't know why I've got the fire going. I reckon with the door shut, I'd be just as warm. But I'm sitting here really toasty. All the heat from that fire is coming straight in the door and circulating and warming the teepee up really well. So I've got the main light off now, and I've got these little old bike lights clipped into side of the poncho there, and it's like everything glows red in here, and they're pointing to the middle, so everything is sort of lit up in the middle. So I've got two on the trailer, one on the bike. I always have two in the bug out bag for things like this, and these are fantastic. They don't light the tent up. If I pop the covers off, they probably will, but they give you just enough light, so if you are stealth. But I put new batteries in the glow stick. They went flat when I was out with the other two Charlie Tangos a few weeks ago. So I put new batteries in there, but I'm just going to save them. I'm not going to use them, but I should really see how bright the glow sticks are. I think the glow sticks are brighter. I know the blue one's brighter than the red one, and the blue one probably lights up this whole tent. But I'm going to save them. But yeah, you can buy those battery glow sticks, or obviously the snappy ones that you just chuck away. But why, waste stuff? The landfills are full of that as they are. Buy the battery glow sticks, or a couple of these things in the pound shop. It's just simple bike lights. They've got the belt clip attachment. Can't see, you can just about see it, it's red there, because I've got the light on the phone. No, I can't cover it. But there's plenty of light there. This is so comfy. I am tempted just to leave the fire now and just shut the door, but then I'll just fall asleep. Right, it's just gone past 10 o'clock. That hasn't really got anything worse. It has been raining all night. That's the only wet patch. I think it's because the wind's hitting it. It's not letting the water run down. But it's not dripping or running off yet. It's just seeping through. The rest of the tent is absolutely fine. Even the top. Getting a couple of drips on my leg now and then where I'm sitting, obviously because I've got the front of the teepee open. And where I've been laying back for about an hour or so. As you can see, the teepee finishes here where I moved the bed. I had the bed earlier at the back of the teepee. So water's obviously dripping straight in here and just catching the side of the bed. Didn't think earlier too much about that being much of a problem. So the outer part of the bivvy's a bit wet. The bed, but it's waterproof, the bed. The water just rolls off it. That's all beaded up. It's only turned into spots now where I'm actually touching it. But that's not going to seep through, and it's 3 foot wide, so there's still plenty of room in there for my legs, if the zips do get wet. But that's just my own fault, really. I should have just closed the door, but it has been raining all night. I'm quite warm in here, despite the temperature. I'll go out, do a little review. I've just put a load of thin stuff on here now, just to get crisscrossed it, to keep the wind off it. I've got roaring flames now, so that will die down to some nice coals to chuck the big logs on. I'll shut the door probably about an hour or so and go to sleep. The problem I've got with the teepee sagging, when I tightened the pegs up earlier, I found they weren't coming loose. They're them short pegs I've got, and the ground here is really soft for the first 4 or 5 inches. So the weight of the teepee is actually pulling the pegs through the soil. I think I need a bit longer than normal tent pegs. They gave me obviously bent tent pegs with this, which are the same length as my other tent pegs. They're twice the weight, nearly twice the length, but I still don't think normal tent pegs will be long enough. We have had a lot of rain in the past sort of couple of weeks. It is December, so the ground's very soft. So I think this time of year you need a good 8-inch pegs to go right into the ground, because everything on the top's just so wet. The pegs are just getting pulled up. There's the outside. The outside of the tent is soaking wet. Again, I've got the back to the wind now, so the wind's hitting this bit here where the damp patches are, and as for the rest of it, it's just running off. It's yeah, it's not seeped through at all. The arm sleeves are fine, nothing's dripping or leaking through there. The top where it's stitched, I thought water would sort of sit and then seep. It hasn't done any of that. The double stitching all the way around it is absolutely fine. The triple layers on the button, obviously one layer, another layer, and then another layer inside. That's not leaking or dripping at all. Bit of a wet patch going on up here. Phone's going flat again. That's what I get for sitting there on the internet all night. Yeah, it's just wet, but I think that's only on that side. I blame the wind coming in from this direction. Obviously that's the top of the TP. Once you get more than 3 or 4 foot up, the wind hits you, and that's 4 foot, so the wind's obviously hitting that. Fire's going well. God, it only took about 10 minutes for those little sticks to turn into charcoal. That'll all collapse soon, and I can chuck the last of the big stuff on, and that'll be about midnight. And then I'll probably sort of start dozing off and then shut the door when this dies down completely. Not going to keep it going all night. I would do normally if I was in there in a tarp, but I got the TP tonight. I think I'll be right in there with the door shut and a candle on. Won't get carbon monoxide poisoning, and the candle won't chill up all the air because this thing's not airtight. There's gaps around the bottom. You see in the daylight there's a lot of gaps here where the light gets through. So there's sufficient air in there to have a candle, but I really want a wood stove for it. Really want a wood stove. And then you have obviously the chimney coming out of one of these flaps here, the armholes. So yeah, I do want a chimney, wood stove, ammo can stove or something. Yeah, just see the water running off. But like I said, it's 20 past 10 now. I could do with going to sleep, but Mrs is working tonight and she gets in about 11:30, so if I go to sleep now she'll start texting me when she gets in and it'll just wake me up again. Right, I'm gonna go stick my phone on charge and might make a coffee just for something to do, kill a bit of time. Oh, it's bright. Right, little update. God, that's shiny. Just laying here chilled out the past couple of hours. Just been like on Facebook, talking to people on the UK Shit at the Fan Preppers page, and Prepper Girl, so check her out on Facebook too. Radio one. The phone's been on charge with the new one. I was hoping to save that till tomorrow, but I've just put a little bit of extra charge on my phone because I only put that on charge for about an hour today, and it didn't fully charge my phone. Doing a lot of video and kind of kills your battery. Got the tea light going in the mess tin just for a little bit of ambient light. Lights everything up quite nicely. The wet patch is still there, hasn't got any bigger, hasn't got any smaller. Rest of the TP is sound as a pound, no drips, no nothing. But I do have a spider. Spider? New spider today. Yeah. Massive hard body, I just felt him. Ugh. Can't stand spiders. Well, I can, but I can't, if you know what I mean. Couldn't be bothered to cut this log in half, so I've just burnt it in half. It's 10 past 11. I was waiting to burn that in half so I can put the big logs on here, and then that'll be it for tonight. No more fire. Just waiting for the missus to get home. She'll be home in another 20 minutes or so. Say good night to her, or she'll moan if I don't answer her texts, because I'm ready to hit the hay. I've been trying to stay awake for the past hour. But the tent hasn't rained for the past hour. so it's sort of drying off now. Still a lot of water beads all over it. This flap here should be on the inside because I've flapped it open, so hopefully that'll dry off. As you can see in there, it's bone dry, no water has gone through the tent at all. The bottom of the tent though, which meets the ground, is soaked. I'm guessing soaked through. I haven't checked the underneath of it, but yeah, that's pretty soaked through. So I'm not sure if this will, how long it takes to dry out, especially this time of year. So be interesting tomorrow. Obviously I'll pack up and stuff. No idea what time I'm leaving. I've got no plans. Aiming to be home for about 4. Point out the lights fire so you've got something to see. Yeah, aiming to be home for about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm going to spend all day here playing my stuff and that. Hopefully get some sunlight to charge up the phone. It's pretty much rained all night. Not often on, probably more on than off. Heavy winds. The weather said 22 mile an hour, but it feels like 60 or 80 mile an hour winds. Again, I'm on a bit of a hill, so the wind's probably coming up the hill and beating me. Not much more to say really tonight. Gonna get my head down shortly. Just got a couple more big logs to put on the fire. Not that I need them. I mean, there's plenty of heat coming in from the fire into the teepee, keeping it lovely and warm. I've forgotten your name now. The person I was speaking to on a Facebook group, UK shit the fan preppers. The name's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. He was saying he was thinking about getting one. Am I testing out the TP for YouTube? Yeah. Then I lost internet, so I'm not sure if my last comment was sent. But I recommend these TPs. I'm looking forward to wearing one as a poncho to see how it performs, you know, as a garment. So we'll try that out one day. But as a TP, I'm 6'6" and I've got plenty of room. I mean, I can sit on my bed with my feet out. I could lay down and stretch out if I was on the floor, but obviously I'm about 8 inches off the floor in the bed, 7 inches that is off the floor, so that's 7 inches high. Does eat into the, you know, if I was on the floor I'd be lower and then have more room because I'm higher, so they do eat into your living space quite a bit. But that bed, I think it's going to be comfy as hell tonight. It's got a few drips in it. Everything's got a few drips. Nothing soaked, just a bit damp. You know, where the water's been coming down into the teepee because I've had the door open all night. It's quite a clear sky, quite bright out there for some reason. I think it's a bit foggy and it's the lights from the town that I can see lighting the sky up. But it's been nice looking out at the sort of trees swaying in the wind, or the branches. The radio's going mental. I was listening to the radio. But when the repeater stations kick in with the time and weather and stuff, and it's the local GB3 BS, I think it was, just said it was 8.3 degrees out here, so it's quite cold. And now a little spider. That's where they're getting in. I've killed 2 of these things tonight, and there's one on the roof. I hate spiders. I hate any insects. I hate the caterpillar I had earlier. I hate the tiny little ones that bite you when you're asleep. There's just no need for it, you know. I mean, look at this. Most of this here is dry. Fair enough, the wind has been coming down on an angle. The rain's been coming down on a good angle tonight and soaked that side of the teepee, which you can't see. Hence, I've got the wet patch inside. But the other side of the teepee, even the outside of it, has not got as much water on it as the side facing the wind. So teepee, fantastic. I shouldn't bother doing any more recording tonight because it's just too dark. My little night light's fantastic. Mess tin candle, 9-hour emergency candle. I've tried them out a few times on overnighters, and they do last 9 hours. Maybe 7 or 8 hours, because I normally fall asleep and just leave them on. But yeah, they don't always say, well, I'll do what it says on the tin, but them candles, I don't even know where I got them from. Glad I did, because they're good candles. It's nice and warm just walking past it. So I might sit out here by the fire, because it's really doing quite well actually tonight, and chill for half an hour or so before getting my head down. So I'm going to say good night YouTube for now, and I'll catch you in the morning and we'll do a review of everything, and you can see the equipment in the daylight, because obviously it's dark at the moment and it kind of makes for a shit video. So yeah, we'll catch you all later on. Check out my Facebook group if you're not already on there, UK Shitheads of Fan Preppers. I'll put a link in the description, or go to my home channel, my YouTube channel, and there's links on there for various things. And yeah, show your support. Check out UK Prepper Girl. I'll have to put some links up somewhere on there too. Also, if you are into your radio, you might be watching this for some alternative reason, I have a CTX blog, which is my call sign 26 Charlie Tango X-Ray 941 is my blog. It's on there on the webs.com website you get. It's got all my CTX videos on there. All my prepping, bugging out, wild camp videos and CB and amateur videos are on YouTube. I'm just waffling now because I'm enjoying standing by the fire. The wind hasn't calmed down at all. I don't think it's going to rain much more tonight. Can't see any clouds, but it is dark. But the wind's still, you know, making me aware of its presence. So, bid you good night, YouTube. My trailer's really reflective. Safety first, kids. Safety first. Right, good night, YouTube. I'm going to stay at the fire. I could just watch it for hours. See you in the morning.